Hi, good evening, and welcome back to my channel. Another bike ride with electrified addictions. So anyway, today is April 29th, 2026, and it is Wednesday. So it is right now about 2:45 p.m. It's probably about 2:45 in the afternoon. And I wanted to get a short video in tonight because we're about to receive some rain about 4 o'clock or so, they're calling for, here in Belvidere, New Jersey. So thank you all for joining me. So I am on my favorite electric bike this afternoon. I am on my 5,000 watt dual motor full suspension electric mountain bike. And this bike is dual motor, and it is capable of over 40 miles an hour. It's really comfortable to ride. It's an awesome bike. Can't get enough of it. I mean, I ride it just about every day. And we're just gonna head to the store and run a few errands before it rains. So I thought it was a good idea to get out and get a ride in and be active a little bit. Better than sitting home and listen to someone else's kids fight and scream and carry on like a bunch of wackos. It's amazing how, you got to spend money on an apartment. You don't even want to be there. So anyway, thank you all for joining me. And I don't know. Where is this e-bike thing going? Because I am a resident of New Jersey. Am I going to have to license, insure, and register my bike? Or can I just fly under the radar and hope for the best? And if you are a resident of New Jersey, are you going to license and insure your bicycle? Or are you just going to give up the hobby or are you just going to say the heck with it and try to just fly under the radar? So I figured I'd get out and get an hour's worth of riding in. I did a short video at work today because I was just scamming through Amazon, and I think there's a bike called YZY or YVT, something like that. It's another name for the Ridstar, because the Ridstar is no longer on the website. So I guess they probably sold the brand name to another company, or who knows what takes place there and how that works. And I noticed it says a 25 amp hour battery, and the new bike has 90 newton meters of torque. And also the dual motor Ridstar, the Ridstar Q20 Pro, it used to be called, is now $1,199. So you can get the dual motor version probably for about $1,300 or $1,400. And the other bike I was looking at, the one I was talking about and showed you, the website on Amazon, it comes with a rear rack. So that is pretty cool. I don't know which car that is. I ain't stopping there. So yeah, we're gonna receive some rain in a little bit. just sit back, enjoy the ride. Like I said, this is the time where I do not like being out on the road because everybody's coming home from work. And I don't like a lot of traffic. That's when accidents happen. So we're going to stick to the back roads. Yeah, temperature's dropping and I can feel some rain going to be moving in shortly. And I think it's supposed to rain throughout the night. So I was just wondering, like, how many people are just going to say the heck with it and not even license and insure their electric bike, and how many people are going to abide by the rules and regulations to be licensed, insured, and registered on these things? It's just crazy. You know, it's like all your freedom that you ever had in your life it's all being taken away. Everything is just being taken away. And if you want to keep it or if you want it, you're going to have to pay. It's just stupid. Back to my usual spot here. I was over here yesterday and this thing kept like beeping and talking. I was like, what the heck is that? So yeah, I was thinking about buying that. I think it's Bobson. It's brand named Bobson. And it looks like the Ridstar, and it says it comes with a 25 amp hour battery. The motor peaks, it's a 1,000 watt motor that peaks at 1,500 watts. And they said it has a top speed of 35 miles an hour with 90 Newton meters of torque, and is just a rear motor bike. So, and it's on the website, it's for $599 and delivery is $100. So you figure the $599, we'll say $600, and you take the $600 and add $100 for delivery, and probably about $45 for taxes. So, you know, you're looking at a bike for probably $645. No, $700. And so for a bike for less than $800, you can buy that Ridstar that resembles the Q20. And there she is. So I don't know if I went over this bike before. I'm pretty sure I have. I've pretty much explained the motors. This has two 2,000 watt motors, and they are marked 52 volts at 24 inches. And what's really cool is they put the size of the dropout on the motor as well. So that's a 135 millimeter dropout on the front, and also in the rear they marked it at 175 millimeters in the rear at 52 volts, 2,000 watts a piece. So yeah, this bike has been absolutely awesome to me. It's really reliable. I bought it up to a full charge today. I got it up to 58. I don't know if the voltage is correct on the display, but the light turned green and I let it sit on there for about a half hour, maybe 45 minutes, to make sure that the batteries, they say to leave it on the charger for an extra hour or two so it balances out the cells. So even though the charger turns green, it's still throwing a slow trickle to the battery, and the BMS will, you know, it'll balance out the cells. So yeah, this thing has been great, man. Running good. So I already got 2 miles on it. I gave it a full charge at work, and we're almost at 550 miles. Yeah, and we're at 57.3 volts. So it is just about fully charged. Let's continue with our ride. Hey, you know what they say, slow and steady wins the race. And you know, the past 5 years I've been so disciplined, and it's changing my life. You know, now at least I have money. I can afford some hobbies. I have a place to stay. At one point in my life, to be honest with you, I was married. I had everything. I had a beautiful home, a 5-bedroom home. I had a car. Actually, I had 2 cars and 1 truck. I used to have 3 vehicles. And I went through a really bad divorce. The divorce had taken pretty much everything away from me for like 20 years. I was forced to pay child support. I got dragged through the courtrooms. They went through all my old tax forms of what I was capable of making. I went through a lot of shit in my life. I've been, it makes you strong, let's put it that way. It turns you into the man that you need to be. And it turns you into a man today in 2026 where you just gotta watch who you get involved with. Because people are not just everyone, I'm not saying everyone, but a lot of women, they are heartless creatures. It's just like unreal. So I avoid a lot of conflict. I avoid a lot of people because you don't know who you're going to get mixed up in today. So what I noticed, I put 21 pounds of air pressure in my tires. The recommended is 20 pounds. So I put 21 pounds in each one, and man, is this sucker roll. They say that an underinflated tire is more prone to a puncture than a tire that is, you know, inflated correctly. So I overinflated them by a pound. They say it'll help with punctures. So like I said, I almost got 600 miles on this bike, and I have not gotten the flat yet. Knock on wood. And I do notice the rolling resistance of how great it is. It does like roll forever. So anyway, back to me. 5 years ago, I ended up being homeless. I don't even know how I ended up being homeless. I hit rock bottom. They say in life, you have to hit rock bottom to realize what it really takes to get back to the top. And at one point in my life, I was at the very, very top. I had a beautiful home. It was 5 bedrooms. And I had to give it all up. I had a beautiful paying job. At one point in my life, I had my own business. So there's a lot of things, you know, that happen in life that turns you into the man that you need to be today. And I'm glad that all these things happened to me throughout my life. It made me very aware of my surroundings. And it also made me very aware of what someone else can do to you. And people will just rip your heart out and wipe their feet off on it. And they'll continue to do it, especially when you're down. When you're down and out, they'd love to just rub it in. It's just, people are, they have no consideration for you. People are envy of you. Like right now, I notice, just because of the things I have and the things I am going to continue to get and create an awesome life for myself, some people are jealous. Some people are envy of you. I have some people not even wanting to talk to me because of who I am. I'm like, this is exactly who I am, and this is exactly who I'm going to be, because this is what God created me to be. God created me to be a man. And guess what? I'm going to be a man. And if you don't like it, too bad. Because I'm not bowing down for no one. And you definitely are not ever, or would I even give you the chance to take advantage of me again. I will protect my heart and my soul with all that God has given me. And that is the God honest truth. And as a man in 2026, it's okay to be selfish. Because nobody cares about you as a man. And there ain't no one going to give you nothing. They'll take from you, but they're not going to give you nothing, I'll tell you that. It's a crazy world today. And don't even think about a woman. I think the best thing you can do is focus on yourself. And as a man, God created me to state I love, you know what? I love myself time. I love being by myself. I mean, look at this. How can you not be? Alright, you're listening to me ramble on for about 10 minutes. So anyway, thank you all for joining me on this beautiful afternoon before it starts raining. Too many people on this road. I'm not even gonna go that way. Yeah, I think getting on a highway right now is a little bit too dangerous for me, so I think I'd better stick to the back roads. Better off. Yeah, the temperature is dropping out here. It's getting cool. It feels like some rain moving in shortly. So yeah, I look back to where I was maybe a little bit more than 5 years ago to where I am right now. I paid child support for almost 20 years. It took a lot out of me. It definitely took a lot out of me. At one point in time, I fell behind $5,000 in arrears in child support. know, they locked me up. So one day I came back from shopping and I was with my sister. I was with my sister and we just got back, I think, from ShopRite or A&P. And my sister pulls in. I was in the passenger seat with her. And there was a blue car sitting at my apartment of where I was living at the time. And it was unmarked. It was two, what do you call them? Officers, where, you know, you are wanted through the courts. Correction officers. So they walk up to me, they ask me for ID, which is identification. And then he asked me to drop what I was doing, and I said, listen, sir, I just got back. I said, let me put all my things away. So at least he allowed me to put all my things away. And he said to me, well, that's long enough. This is taking too long. So I had to identify myself before they can arrest me. So they arrested me. They put me in handcuffs, the belt, you know, with the shackle, the feet, and the belt that goes around your waist with the handcuffs in the front. And I was like, wow, I thought I was like getting arrested for murder. They arrested me because I fell $5,000 in arrears on child support. I spent more than a week in jail. Cavity search, spread your ass cheeks. Oh yeah, it was fucking just, it was a great moment, let me tell you. It really sucked. That was the only time I ever got arrested. I had to pay over $3,000 to get out of jail. They wanted so much of a percentage. And I couldn't believe it. Ever since that time, I made sure I paid up in full. And I am done paying child support. And this was 2 years ago. And my child support payments every week were about $265 a week. It took a lot. And mind you, I still had my kids in my life. It wasn't like I was a deadbeat dad or anything. It was like I had my kids on the weekends. I had a steady place to live. And it was just insane. The amount of shit I went through the courtrooms. Child services. Making up lies. The justice system is crooked. I was making my son Kool-Aid. And the woman said that I was putting drugs in the cup for my son. I said, what? Do you know that I threw this woman out of my apartment, out of my house? She was going through my cabinets looking for things to like, what are you looking for? I asked her. And then they assume shit that isn't true. And I told the lady, I said, you better get out of my house. She's like, you can't. I said, bullshit. I took her and I took her things. I threw them right out. I said, get out. I said, don't even come back here. I said, my son is fine. It was crazy. Yep. And lies. The lies. So any man who decides to get with a woman, you better think twice. You better think 6 times before you even think anything like that. It's not worth it. Let me tell you, I've been through it all. The court and the justice system, they make up lies, things that ain't true. They hammer you with all kinds of alimony, child support, visitation rights. It sucked. It made me out to be a criminal when I was a good dad, and I just couldn't believe it was happening. And I still remember to this day, I asked my wife at the time, I said, will you ever take me to court? 3 months later, we were in the courtroom. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget the hell I went through. And that hell lasted almost 20 years of my life. And it took a lot from me, even though I had my kids on the days that my ex-wife, or even wife at the time, was drunk and drinking and totaling the family cars, and the shit I went through in my life. Oh, I've seen it all. Oh yeah, I've seen it all. So for any man to think that in 2026 that he's going to get with a woman, you better think more than 10 times. It's not worth it. It'll suck and extract so much value out of you. I was a good, hard-working man, and I still am. And you know what? I don't regret any of my children being here. Thank God for my kids. And I swear to God, to this day, I knew that I should have never said I do. I will never, ever think about getting married again in my life. I don't care who it is, what it is, how it is. I will never do it. You know, after being single for so many, I think I've been single for almost 15 years now. It makes you realize and how strong God makes you to be who you really, and how much value you really have by yourself. And knowing the value you can create by yourself. Because the minute you allow someone into your life, they're going to extract that value from you. And before you even decide to think that you want to get into a relationship with a woman, you better create some value for yourself first. Because it is going to get extracted from you. And it's not worth it. It's not worth your time, your efforts, your heart, your soul, everything you are. It's not worth it. Especially today. Today it's even harder. And that's why there's so many single men and women out there today, because everything's got to come into an alignment. She has to align with your core values. And if she doesn't align with your core values, it's not going to work. And look at the women today. They're only looking to extract value from you. You have women out here on the internet saying straight out, will you spoil me? Yeah, spoil you? I don't even know you. Spoil you? And right where when a woman shows she just wants to extract something from you, nah. That's a crazy, that's not even a relationship. That's a business proposition, brother. So I'm glad all you guys realize this, because it ain't worth it. Staying single and staying strong and building a life and creating value for yourself. I've made that decision long ago because it was hard to bring myself back to where I am today. And thank you all for listening to me today. My channel is more or less about electric bikes. It's also a lesson in life. It's a very large lesson in life. It's okay for an enemy to do you wrong, but when someone does you wrong that you thought was your own flesh and blood, that's kind of heart-wrenching. That's a little different. Alright, so we're going to do a full motor blast. I'm going to put it in dual motor right now just to creep up this pretty big grass hill here. Nice. So yeah, even in pedal assist 1, this bike is pretty powerful. Especially with a full charge. So at the age of 50 years old, here I am. I've built my whole entire life over again. I've lost too many things, too many times, and every time it was because of a woman. Because I got involved with a woman. And I'll never do it to myself again. It's just like, any relationship is going to extract value out of you. But if you meet a good woman, she could create and motivate you as well. But you know, it's like today, nobody stays together. I mean, look at the world today. The whole entire world is broken. Like the woman I live next to, there's 4 children, single, living off government assistance, and that's what's out there today. Like, can you imagine? I can't even live next to this woman. Can you imagine living with it? Dude, I want out now. I can't take it. Dude, who is going to deal with 4 children that are not yours? They're all disrespectful. You got the little girl swearing. All the little boys swear. They don't wake up till 10, 11, 12 o'clock in the afternoon. They don't go to school. Like, what kind of discipline and what are you teaching these kids? Nothing. And these are the type of kids that turn 17, 18 years old. They're going to be robbing, stealing, and it ain't going to be pretty. And you know who I blame? I blame the woman. Because she is supposedly the parent. And guess what? That ain't no parent. That's a woman who's using her kids through life to get all her needs and necessities met. And using any man that comes her way to extract value out of him for her benefit. That's all. Like right now. And that's what's happening right now. But mark my words, if this man or any man comes into a woman's life that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 children, if this man really loves this woman and he's got so much value, why doesn't he step into the kid's life and also discipline them as well? That is a good man. But right now, it ain't like that. This man is out there for one thing and one thing only. And we all know what that is. It's absolutely disgusting. It's a disgrace. Like, what are you doing? What are you thinking? What do you think? I'm stupid? You think I don't know, like, what you just plan on doing here, they're not even your kids, bro. Like, where is your mentality? Where's your morals? Where's your mindset? But hey, people do not think of the future. And at one point in my life, the only thing I thought about was the future of my children. And to this day, I still am in their life. My kids are over 20 years old, and I am still a great part of my kids' life because I choose to be. Because I choose to be that good dad. I choose to be that man that created those kids, to always be there for them no matter what it is, no matter what they want. You know, I have to, or I'm going to take that to my grave. You have to be there. But that's a lesson in life. There's so many men out here who have children, and you know, they don't end up seeing them, they don't ever plan on being a part of their life. And when you get older and you pass away, you're going to regret that. You're going to take that to your grave. Just words of advice. Get out riding before it rains. Yeah, it looks pretty dark up this way. So yeah, being in a relationship is a scary thing as a man. It may seem all peaches and cream at first, but before you even think about getting married, you better spend a good lot of quality time with this woman before you even think about it. Because I even thought I knew my wife at the time, and there was a lot of shit going on. Things I can't not even explain on here, and things that I have explained on here, I think I went a little too far. You will be surprised of what another person can do. And they will lie right in front of your face. And I'll tell you, as a man, it takes one lie with me and you're done. Because I am not going to tolerate anyone's bullshit. If you do not speak the truth, and you are not honest, trustworthy, or caring, and that's the problem today. There is no one who is trustworthy. There is no one who's even going to come close to caring about you. And they're only looking to extract value out of you, especially when it comes to internet. It's not worth it. It's better to hold on to your peace, your heart, and your soul, and you create value for yourself as a man. And stay away from all the bullshit, the chaos, and do not ever think about dating a single mother with children. I believe that any woman will ruin a good man, and that's the God honest truth. A good man always gets ruined. It happened to me. And I'm to the point now where I got money in the bank, I got money in my pocket, I'm on my way back up, and I will never ever allow anyone to take that from me again. Because as I get older, there ain't no one gonna want you around. Nobody wants you around now. Look at families. Like I said, everyone's just broken apart. No one stays together anymore. It's crazy. Everything's fast. People think they can get rich fast. Everything is like quick connections, quick talk, quick money. connections today are shallow. There's no depth. We don't value each other anymore like we used to. Human beings do not value each other. Well, I feel the first drops of rain coming in, so we planned that perfectly. I can do that too. So now you're telling me that guy was doing 35 miles an hour? I think he was doing 60. It's crazy. It's nuts. The whole world is in a rush. Hit her up a little bit. Yeah, I don't know how hard it's going to rain, but they said rain at 4 o'clock. And it's about 4 o'clock now. So I was thinking about putting a pair of race face handlebars on here. What stops me from doing it is because it's going to take me a long time to take all the accessories off the handlebars and have your brakes perfectly positioned again to fit your body. And so, it takes a lot of effort and a lot of time. Because right now, where I'm putting my hands, they fit so perfect. With the angle, with me sitting here. I said, for a $1,400 bicycle and all the time I put into it and extras and the upgrades, this bike really fits my body like perfect. And that rear suspension is a plus. It helps out a lot. So yeah, I might buy that YVY or YZY Bobson. It has 90 newton meters of torque. It says it has a 25 amp hour battery. It is 48 volts. And they say the top speed of that bike is between 30 and 35 miles an hour. So I don't know if they're talking about the dual motor version, which would be like the Ridstar Q20 Pro, or if they're talking the single version, because the original Ridstar, I think, had 80 or 85 newton meters of torque. So it's definitely a different motor. It's also definitely a different screen. It has an anti-theft system. I believe the screen on it, the screen display, the display itself, that's different. So yeah, it looks, I don't know. And for the money, and it is only a rear motor bike, so it's, I think on a website it says it's 88 pounds. But the only difference is in the frame. It's the same frame, the rear suspension, instead of one single shock in the center, it has dual coil springs. But everything else about the bike is pretty much like the Ridstar Q20. So it actually looks, I don't know, it looks pretty well built. It has that rear rack. It's a pretty sleek looking bike. And just to have a rear rack to have that ability to put a bag on the back, that's pretty cool, man. And I don't know, I'm thinking about purchasing it because it's kind of lightweight. I think on the website it says 88 pounds, which isn't light, but so actually, and it's a carbon steel frame. So that's probably why the bike is kind of heavy, because it is carbon steel. Versus this bike, which is all aluminum. On the website on this bike, with the battery, I think it says it's 81 pounds. And for a 24-inch bicycle, dual motors, with a giant 32 amp hour battery, that's pretty light. Yeah, it looks like some rain coming in a little bit. See how dark it is up there now. So, you know, I'll give it a whirl, and it's not like I'm gonna keep it forever. It seems like every time I put a bike together, someone else will fall in love with it besides me. And also my Zorix Z6, that'll be gone the day after tomorrow, Friday. So I gotta bring it to work with me Friday. The man's gonna come down about 8, 9 o'clock. I just put another bag on it for him because he said, where can I buy a bag? So I told him I'll install the one that I had on it. You know, I don't mind helping people who help me. And you gotta, that's how you gotta work. You gotta help people who bring value to your life and the things that you enjoy doing. If you enjoy doing something, then do it, because it makes you feel good at your heart, you know? Helping someone who needs the help is okay. But you always got to remember, it's best to be honest, and it's best that you care, because no one else is going to care. And you really got to put all that self-love into yourself, because no one's going to care about you. And you will never go wrong by caring about yourself. Pull up here a little bit. No. Alrighty, so we went 8.5 miles. We're going to cut this video a little short tonight because it's going to rain shortly. I now have 555 miles. My max speed was 29.8. Average speed of 10.4. And I'm sitting at 56.1 volts. So now if we power this off, get a good look at the bike. She looks great, man. It's a nice looking bike. I mean, if you have the extra $1,400 to buy yourself an electric bicycle, this thing is a beast. It's like perfect. And just to have that option of the adjustable seat so it fits your body well. And you know, the air shock and the upgrades, the pedals and the things you can do, you know, you can make it yours. That's what it's all about, you know. So let's power it off. Yeah, and I have my lights up underneath, so all my lights are on. Power it back up. And this will show you the true voltage. So we went 8 miles. Yeah, we're at 57.2 volts. So yeah, you can. So there's no doubt, like on a single charge, on one charge, that you cannot get at least 50 miles out of this bike easily. Well, hey, thank you all for joining me this evening. And if you like this video, please smash that like button and subscribe so I can get the subscribers, and hopefully my channel will continue to grow, and so will I. Everyone have a great evening, and peace.